Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another card maker fold in our card maker fold playlist. So today we're going to be making this little beauty. So it's a double flip. So we've got this flip up at the top, writing space, and then another flip. You've got writing space here on some of them, depending on how you construct it. And then you've got a double writing space here, or triple actually, 1, 2, 3, depending again how you decorate and how you proceed with making yours. So I do want to just preface the video by saying I do realize there's a light shining over here to the left. I have my lamp on because I'm struggling with my camera, my Brio camera. Gets glitzing out or whatever, glitching out, and it's making the videos very difficult. So I'm trying a couple different things to see what is going on. So I turned off the auto exposure on my camera, so it might be a little bit darker. So I turned the light on, and so hopefully we'll get through this video, and I'm going to continue to troubleshoot that problem. It seems like it's always something with the equipment. So anyway, this is what we're making. So the entire piece, I didn't write the full dimensions. Let me grab my ruler here really quick. So the full, well, I guess it's in the dimensions. So this measures 4.5 by 5.5 inches tall. The large base, which is the bottom piece, it's this piece here that is scored here, that measures 4.25 by 8.25, and it's scored at 2 3/4 on the long side, which we're going to do this all together. The medium base, which is this one, this little flippy, measures 3 3/4 by 9.5, folded in half. And then the small base, which is this top piece, is 3.5 by 9.5. And we're allowing for a 2 3/8 inch glue spot. So when we glue this on, you don't want to glue the whole base on, which I did actually in my template. It's got glue right there. We only want to glue from here to here, but we're going to do that all together. So I've got some bits from the sewing kit. This is the Bright and Cheery sewing kit. And I've got my whale tail punch, my rounder, my eyelets, and my eyelet setter, and my ink, and my Fabri-Tac here. So we're going to do the cutting together. My cutter is over to my left. So my score one, we're going to be using it. In fact, I probably need to pull that down. We're going to be using it to score, but the cutter is just shot. I don't know what's going on. New blades. I've tried everything, and I can't get it to work. So I'm going to be working more with the big cutter. We might just bring her over because I want to make sure you guys can see this really, really well. So I made 3 off camera just because I wanted to really get the hang of it. These all are just exactly like the template, exact same dimensions, just a little bit of a different look. So this is a kit from Cara-Renee. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just gorgeous. And I thought I need to make ephemera that's not for a specific journal that I'm making. So I did my little belly band here. So this will get glued onto the page, okay, like I like to do. And then again, you've got this flip up. So you got writing space, this flip up, and then you got this little cute writing space, this writing space, and then you've got your double writing space here. So, and then because it's not going to be glued down to a page, you also have the back. So lots and lots of writing space. So that's really, really fun. And I'm just going to move my mouse there really quick. And then this is one we made for this could actually probably go in the sewing journal. Oh, I put Sewing Happiness on it. I guess we're going to use it. It works fine for the sewing journal. That's perfect. I'll put that in the vintage one. And then this one, I'm not going to open this one up. Same thing. We've got an image on this other panel. Well, let's just open it. Goodness gracious. Like that. So that's our writing space, and that's our writing, and then we've got that image there. So that is the second one, and I want to make sure I don't get too clogged up here. And then this is the Bright and Cheery entry into the thing here. I guess we don't need to be untying that thing. Goodness. Just slide that up like that. get it off. Come on. I have not been feeling good all week. It is August the 21st, Thursday. I go back to work full-time on Monday, and all week I've been struggling. I've had a headache, earache, all the signs of like the flu, but that's all my symptoms. I'm exhausted. I can't, yeah, foggy brain, the whole thing. So hopefully we'll get through this okay. So I love how this one turned out because it's all about the papers that you choose. So you can see we've got this peak of green here from this, and then you've got that same green just shining through underneath because I put a little bit of a band there. And so we've got this decorative bit, needle in hand, heart on sleeve, and then writing space, writing space, writing space. I did cover that with that little image. And then you've got your double writing space here. And then of course, again, oh, I guess this one would be harder to write on the back because it's a solid, but you could totally do it still. So I'm going to get that one over there, and let's go ahead and start. So the first thing you're going to want to do is decide what you want to be each piece. So I'm thinking I want to separate these colors out because it's a lot going on. So I think I'd like this to be my base, the big base, this to be the middle, and this to be the small. Because I like this one a lot. So let's go ahead and set that aside for the moment. And we're going to go ahead and bring the cutter over here. It's the big mama, so she takes up the entire desk here. And we're going to make sure that this is, the base is 8 1/4 inches tall. So 8 1/4. Got a little bit of white on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and just shave that off really quick, so I'm not bothered by that. So 8 1/4. So I've not been feeling well, but not bad enough that I just lay around. It's just the weirdest thing ever. So, and then we want this to be 4 1/2 inches wide. Okay, I'm thinking I want to put it on a line though, so I'm gonna square this up here and put it on one of those kind of a quilt line there, and then just go back in and cut that at 4 1/2. There we go. Right? I have a foggy brain. Yes, 8 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, so that's our first piece, and we'll score that in just a moment. Our second piece is going to be this one. Yeah, this one. So we want this one to be 9 1/2. So you want to make sure that you pick a page that is landscape, that is tall, portrait rather. I'm going to take that white off. I've mentioned this before. My printer pulls my paper in crooked, and I can't figure out why. So then I get that really weirdness going on. So we're going to cut this one at 9 1/2. Okay, 9 1/2. Well, that worked out nicely. And this one's going to be 3 3/4 inches wide. So I'm just lining that. I know you can't see the dimensions necessarily. If I pull the cutter any closer to me, it will be in my stomach. So can't do that. 3 3/4. And then our last one is going to be, again, 8 1/2, or 9 1/2, excuse me. 9 1/2 inches tall. And I want to give you an update on some journals when we're done creating this, so I hope I won't forget with my foggy brain. 3 1/2. There we go, 3 1/2. All right, so I'm just going to set these bits aside. Hopefully I won't need those again. Did I just do that right? No, I just did that at 4 1/2. This needs to be 3 1/2. 3 1/2, not 4 1/2, Cara-Renee. You probably saw that too, didn't you? There we go, 3 1/2. So I'm going to just set that aside. I'm not even going to get the score tool out. We're just going to make a mark because we only have to score one of these. So this piece is our 4 1/2 by 8 1/4, and we want to score it at 2 3/4. So I'm just going to grab my pencil, and I'm going to go ahead and just line it up on my grid, doing the cheat way here, and we're going to go 1, 2, and 3/4. So There we go. And I'm just going to fold that just the old-fashioned way, so to speak. You don't have to follow these dimensions exactly. You can play around with what you like. I have no idea what's going on with my camera though, guys. I Googled it and it said, check your connection, like your USB. It's plugged directly into my computer, so I can't see that there'd be a reason for that to be a problem. So we'll see. Unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of time to just like problem solve everything. I test it every time I want to film. So so that is our base, and then our medium base is the thread one, and we're just going to fold this one in half. So I just fold it, just line it up as best you can, just as even as possible. Okay, like that. Give that a good burnish, and then we're going to fold this one in half as well. Did I cut that one right? Yep, I did. I did. So anyway, I've been putzing around. I've been out in the outdoor studio when I'm not laying down resting my head, because I can't sleep during the day or I won't sleep at night. So I've been working out there to make it conducive to actually watercolor painting out there, because I talked to you about that window where I look out the window now and there's just this big trailer with the canoe on it. It's just like, So I think I came up with a solution, so I can't wait to show you. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to decide how we want to do our edges. Now, I really liked this decorative edge, but I don't want to repeat that. So see this one here? So I don't think we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the other punch. There's another one on that same punch. Let me show you. So the one I used before was this one. Let me just show you with this scrap what this looks like. So that's the one I did on that sample. And then this one, if I flip it around, it's the opposite. It's inverted. So it's like that. I think I'd like to try that. Let's do that. Okay, so that means we want to do that with all of our corners. So I'm just going to start that process. I'm going to walk through all 4 of these. I'm going to do the punch on all corners. I'll take a moment to ink these, but I want to show you how they go together first, okay? So, so this one goes inside, so it's not going to go all the way to the top. Oh, that should have been the other way. I think that's the top of the thread spools, but that's all right. So that's going to go about right there, okay? And then this is going to close up, okay? And then this is going to go on top, and it's going to be positioned in a particular way. So this one looks a little bit weird because we've got this paper there. So I don't know. It just looks a little strange to me, but we're going to go with it because it's what we picked. It's what I picked. So I'm going to take a moment and ink all these, and I'll be right back. I guess I could be chatting with you for just a moment about the journals I've been working on. So after you see this video, there will be a flip through of the Anne with an E journal will be up on the channel on Saturday. And then I also I just have a couple just finishing touches on the cover of the At the Beach journal. So that will be going up on the channel as well. I did a video of adding ephemera to the Anne with an E journal, but the file got corrupted. So I was not able to use that footage, so I just had to skip right over that and go to doing a flip through. So I do apologize for that. I really wanted to bring you along and have us revisit those pieces together, because it's been a while since we worked on that one, and it was really fun to bump into those pieces and realized as I was doing that I need to start having a journal. If it's some kind of interactive flippy floppy foldy thing, I need to make sure I have like a faux journal page right here with me all the time, so that I can test my theory out on a journal page, because some of my pieces were too big. I couldn't use them, and then yeah, it was a little bit frustrating. Some of them, because like the side that I had like seam binding and tabs out, they were on the inside of the journal. So it's like, oh man, unfortunate. So Anyways, so this is the middle one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and glue this on. Now I like to sort of center it because I just think with this design it looks the best. So I've got my Fabri-Tac over here. So we're just going to put, before I do that, so this is the variation I wanted to do on camera. So in my other samples, I glued the whole thing down to this. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool to make a pocket? So we're going to make a pocket with this one. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get my white glue, my Bearly Arts. I also have started using my art glitter glue. I put it in a bigger bottle, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to make that work. It's easier to put the pin in it and all that. So we're going to go ahead and turn this over, and I'm going to go ahead and glue on this edge, and this edge, okay? Just a little string of glue there, okay? I'm not going to worry about those little bits there. That little punch, okay? So then we've got that. So this is going to go down here. Again, we're going to still try to line it up. It's a little bit trickier to do when you've got the white glues. You don't have as much opportunity to finagle things around, but we should be good. So again, she's glued here, here, and here. Bummed that that's upside down, though. I feel like that's upside down, but okay. Because I thought, how fun would that be? Now, the only thing I'd want to do is make sure that when I put a card in here and I put a tab on it, that it's that the tab is up towards here. Otherwise, it's going to get caught on the belly band piece. So that's awesome. And then this one gets glued on to this flippy bit. Okay. So what I did, just to make it easier, is I lined this up like this, okay? And it doesn't matter which, oh, I like that side. So, yeah, so let's go ahead and, I like that side to show, so we're going to leave it this way. Just evaluating which I like better. And then I'm kind of estimating here and here, making sure well, it doesn't matter so much as we're looking at this edge, and then we want to leave about that much at the bottom as well. So sorry, I'm talking rubbish, I feel like, right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's our glue line. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a mark there as well. And so I'm just going to cover this with glue. I'm going to get my ruler just so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to just put glue. So let me just get this lined up. I'm just putting glue from here up, okay? So let's just leave that there just so you can see what I'm talking about. So anyway, out in the outdoor studio, I've set up my camera again, and I've cleaned things up and made them just conducive to watercolor out there. Cleaned some junk out of there. And then I bought some vinyl decals I'm going to put on that window, and they're like wildflowers and butterflies. So I'm hoping that's going to fix the issue. It's just so ugly and non-inspirational to see a trailer out in my view when I look outside there. So I'm going to lay that down, and I'm going to pick it up because I need to, this helps me to see it a little bit better. And sometimes I can see it better on the tea stain paper than I can on the print. So I'm just doing that. And again, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect, okay? Don't you worry about it, okay? It looks like this one is not even, but it is okay. So there we go. And so you've got, I love this layered look, okay? And so now we've got this flippy floppy. So we've got, well, I guess you could still write on the back of that. It would be more difficult, but then we've got 2 writing spaces there. You got a writing space there, unless we want to cover that. I'm actually think I'm going to leave that, and I think I'm going to put another little image on there. So let me pull that stuff out here. Well, let's work on our card first. Okay, so there's a card space in here. I'm going to grab my metal ruler so I can make sure that we're open. Yep. So we only have that glue line really moved. Wow. Took up a lot of the landscape there. So let's see. we'll just kind of make our card to fit in between those points. So let's say 4 inches. So I'm going to just pull this out. Okay, so we've got this. This one would actually be perfect, but we need to cut it down to 4 inches. So for some reason I'm feeling like not using my cutter. Okay, so I'm just going to mark at that 4-inch mark, and I'm going to turn to my cutter and just trim that off. Okay, I can probably put 2 cards in here. Let me just see if that fits right. Oh, perfect. So I don't want it sticking out, and we've got a glue line here, so we do have to cut a little bit off of this edge as well. So I'm just going to cut it about there. You can kind of estimate it's going to stick out of the pocket to about here. Okay, but you guys can decide what you want to do with yours. Now, what was I cutting? Oh my heavens. There it is. Oh, it sucks to get old. The other thing I have going on, you know, another sign of getting old is I'm having those eye floaters, so I have to get into the doctor and check it out because I've been having headaches, and I've got these, I'm seeing these black spots, which is not fun. I'm not going to, I think I might round these edges, but I don't like to put those delicate corners in pockets because they can be problematic. So we're just going to round them. Okay. And then let's see if we've got a tab that would work just already pre-made. I think I've got some in here that might do the trick. I need to cut some more though, because these are all, I think I looked through these and I wasn't a big fan of them the last time I looked, except I have a drawer. So in all of my moving things around in here, I cleared one of these acrylic containers. So I put all of my whale tail punches that I've ever cut in here. So hopefully it will be easier for me to just flip through all of these and find something that is going to work for my theme. Actually, really like that right there. What do you think of that? Bonus. So let's just ink that up really quick. I did re-ink my ink pad too, so we're getting really dark color here, which I love. So how are you guys doing? I feel like it's been forever since we've talked. I'm running slow. Running slow. I also realized just this morning that, you know, sometimes it can be hard to identify why you're feeling or why you're in kind of the space you're in. Well, my youngest sister's birthday is coming up. So today is in 3 days. It would be her birthday, but she actually took her life. I think it's been 3 years ago now. And so, you know, it's a hole there that I don't often touch. Our relationship was very difficult. But, you know, feelings still arise. It doesn't matter. So I think that's part of, like, I'm just feeling kind of out of sorts about that and that loss and that, you know, realization that, you know, I'm never going to be able to share anything with her again, and, you know, and that kind of stuff. So it's just tricky, but that's perfect. So, because our belly band can stick below that. Okay. So I'll probably put another one in there as well, but I'll just do that off camera. And I'll put a eyelet on there, and that will be great. Okay, so that is we can go ahead and leave that in there just so we can play around. So the last thing we got to do here is put something. I feel like I want to put something here, just a little bit, maybe pick one of the circles and cut it in, you know, cut it straight there. So let me see if I've got a circle that, I think they're in the other bin. Just a moment. Let's see what we got here. This one would actually be really pretty, but it's kind of big. We got one right here already cut. Perfect. So what we can do is, it doesn't need to be cut off very much, so I'm just going to line this up. Actually, I'm going to hold it straight here so I can see what I'm doing. And we're just going to take the bottom off of that. So I'm going to probably have to use my ruler. Get the metal ruler is a little bit less cumbersome here. And we're just going to make a pencil line there and just cut that off. I know you guys have often said you like to see me do all these little bits, so we're doing it together today. I have so many ideas, but I just don't have any energy. I don't have the creative energy. Again, I've been busy in the studio. I mean, yeah, I say it all the time, but I'm always making changes in here, little changes that boost the space, make things more accessible. And Evie, I didn't move any more furniture. I didn't buy any more furniture. I didn't stick anything else in here, but I did make some little changes. Her and I have had a little bit of a giggle about that when I say I can't get any more in this space. Like there is not a square inch that can be used that's not already used. So, but I do still like to finesse things. So I've been fussing around in here and just finishing up the last bits of summer goals. You know, I cleaned out our bedroom closet. Finally just got all the purses and backpacks and stuff out of there, took them down to the garage and that kind of thing. I want to stamp on this, just a spur of the moment decision here, because I was loving that in that last video. So let's use some of these. Let's use a different one than we've used before. So I've got this one. I have not used it yet. So lovely. I don't really want to do that anywhere else, but there, because it's so visible, I'm just like popping up there. And then let's go ahead and let's see what these look like on the other side. Let's do this set of leaves. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, there we go. So that closes up like that. Then we just need to do the decoration on the front. I don't even really feel like, do we need anything on here? Maybe we do. Maybe we do, actually. Let's just bring this in here. And, oh, look at that. That would tie everything together with a spool. So I'm going to fussy cut this out really quick. I'm not very good at cutting ovals, but you know what I say. Perfection is not at play in the studio. Yeah, that's really beautiful. I feel like we need some kind of separation there though. So I've got my bits here, which is another thing I changed. Is it was so difficult to just get my scraps out of that other bin that I created, those other containers. So it works good to just keep the stuff I'm actually working on right now just in a little drawer here, and I'm really liking that. So I'm just going to trim that off. Again, you can decorate in whatever way suits you. I just kind of do whatever occurs to me at the moment. Whatever, you know, whatever I fancy at any given time. Okay, so there we go. And we can do that same punch, which is actually quite pretty when you look at the whole thing all together. So it's not that one. I always, visually, it's hard for me to tell. Yes, it's that one. So we're going to go ahead and plop that in there and just punch all 4 corners of this baby, and then we'll do our finish our decorating and do our belly band. So it's like kind of up in that vicinity of the tab there. Okay. Perfect. And then we had this. So this is going to go right here. Oh, so pretty. Oh, so pretty. And then we'll look at that other one and see if we feel like we need something there too. Whoa. Whoa, Joe. Okay, and I do try to center this as best I can, top to bottom and side to side. So that's going to help. That thread spool is going to tie in this bit that's down here at the other side. So even though it's a different kind of spool, it kind of gives you that effect. And I actually like this label. I think I'm going to use this label, but I'm not going to cut all those fussy, ruffly bits. I'm just going to cut around the green. There we go. And oh, yes. Oh, perfect. Ah, shoot, shoot, shoot. I just dripped a bunch of glue on the project. Just a moment. I filled the Fabri-Tac too, so she's very juicy. Oh, that was okay. Came right off. Don't even feel the residue. Except that now it's on my hand. Yikesies. Okay. And I mean, obviously when I edit the video, I'll know if my choice for turning off the auto exposure was the answer or not. It feels dark, so let me know if it looks dark to you. I'd appreciate the feedback. Or if it feels okay. So there we go. So that is our front, and then let's look at this piece and see what we want to do. See if we've got something in here that will fit the bill. We've got that little pair of scissors. Seems a little bit small for that space. Sorry, I'm holding these to my stomach, otherwise they're going to fall all over the floor. Oh, there's a big pair. Yeah, let's do those. Okay, I'm going to cut these out as well. Do we want to put a separation on that too? I'm feeling like I might, because again, my theory is it helps to, looking to see if I've got a scrap of that button. There it is. It helps to tie everything together when you can, so we're going to use this as the belly band, I think. Let's see what we have on the front. Yeah, or we'll use this, except that's not long enough, so we'll have to use this because I'm not going to print another piece of paper. But let's keep going here. I feel like I'm popcorning all over the place. So I'm going to cut but we need to use this for the belly band too. So let's just cut it on this line. Oh yeah, look at that. So again, it ties all of the pieces together. So I'm going to cut it right there between those buttons because I like that pink button. And I'm going to, actually I'm going to kind of cut both of them so that they're even. Okay, I'm going to cut there and I'm going to cut there and I'll be right back. Yeah. That's a great addition, Cara-Renee. I'm going to stick with that, what we were doing. I'm going to round those corners with this special punch as well. Okay. Again, it can look a little bit weird, especially if the piece is really narrow, but we're going to, why are you stuck? Why are you stuck? Oh man, it didn't cut. What happened? Probably user error. Okay, scratch that. Where's another piece? Doggone it. That frustrates me. Is this one big enough? This was the other piece. Yeah, let's just use that. Oh my goodness. We're not going to round those. I think it was a little bit too narrow of a piece. I'm just going to cut this by hand. It's risky, but risky for me. Go ahead and just ink that up a bit. We'll do our belly band and then we'll be done. Good thing I didn't plan on doing more than one. This would have been crazy. Crazy, crazy. But the tones, see, because this is all from the same kit, so then all the tones of colors go together. So you can see this is this color, this is this color, this is this color. So that's nice. And this is this color. It's a way to really have things really look like they're cohesive. So yeah, let's just do this. Let's not overthink it. There she is. I'll put words on it off camera. That's a no-brainer. So let's work on the belly band. So we need to use this. So I need to straighten these edges and I'll be right back. So I think I'm going to make this one a little bit thicker than the other one because I don't want it to be this small, but I don't want to cut any of those layers away. So is this big enough though? What? Yeah, it should be. Okay, so this is the tricky part. So the first thing that I do is I try to find the middle of this. So, and I like try to go, let's see, 5.5. I'm going to just fold it. You can do a soft fold here, just like a pinch and get your center. I'm just going to do that because I'm feeling like not up to this. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. And then I'm just going to try to center that in the middle. And I'm just eye spying. I'm not measuring. Okay. That looks pretty good right there. So then I'm just going to do a soft fold on that edge right there. And then fold that in. And then put it, we'll turn that over obviously, but I'm just trying to show you. I'm going to turn this around just so I can get to this. And this isn't going to have any additional bulk, really, so I'm not going to make it super loose. Okay, and I'm just going to give that a press as well. Okay, and then the next thing we need to do is we need to take off the same amount off of each of these flaps to make them even. So I'm going to, let's center this and see if we can make this work here. There, so if we take off here, so then let's measure that so we can see how far that is from that edge. So it is 1 7/8, which is just under 1 7/8, which is exactly what my other one was. Isn't that funny? And then 1 7/8. Again, sorry guys. Oh, it's going to be more than that. Yeah, 1 7/8 from this edge. Hope you guys are still here. Holy moly. Holy guacamole. So then I'm going to trim both of those off on that pencil mark. Okay, here and here. I hope I did that right. Hope I did it right. Doesn't have to be perfect. You know what I say, perfection is not at play in the studio. So I didn't even cut those on the lines. Oh, my life, my life, my life. Okay, so we're going to do that. Okay, so that's the direction it's going to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and just smash these together so I can get my my holes for my eyelets. And I'm going to set my eyelets, and I'm just going to speed that part up because we're getting a little long here. So you can just kind of watch what I'm doing. I'm going to find the middle. Yep, that's the middle, just as I suspected. Okay. So then this just goes right here, and then we're just going to put a piece of sari silk or seam binding there. I think I've got some right here that's the right color. I thought I just set it in the top of the drawer, but I do not see it. Is that it? No. Why did I? There it is. It's a little bit of a more muted pink than the one I just grabbed, so not that you could have seen that. Okay, we're going to tie this off, and then we're going to be done. The only thing, well, I guess we don't even, this eyelet did not set properly. I'm having the hardest time with these eyelets in this last batch. I'm going to see if I can knock that in just a second. I'm going to have to take a hammer to it or something. It's a problem. Because look at it, it's not set. It's not set. I don't understand. And it's just this new batch that I got. I normally do not have any trouble, so it's weird. And it's not like it's just one bad one, like every time I punch with it, it's doing this. So it's like a bad batch or something. Either that or my eyelet setter is going to pot. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the big crocodile out and see if I get different results if I try that. So just going to tie that in a little bit of a bow. Oh, look at, and you can see dress there. Oh, so sweet. You can't see the whole thing, but you get the gist of it, the hint of it. Okay, so there we go. I'm just going to trim those off. I always cut them too long. But there we go. So that is our project for today. I'll put an eyelet on here as well. And again, that will get just the belly band will get glued into your journal. So that means this whole piece can be removed and all of those spaces written on without being encumbered in any way. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.